We just gotta go live. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite nerdy podcast where we talk about everything pop culture, but especially comic books, movies, anime, and sports. That podcast being Comic
X Weeb.
I am your co-host, James, a.k.a. Comics for Cheap, a.k.a. hashtag Send It to James, a.k.a. Yeah, here we go on vacation. I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy Chris, a.k.a. Dino. Hit me with the music.
Blah, 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 blah.
Black Santa, revere me, acknowledge me, a.k.a. Them Cowboys got that tail whooped, as well as the Eagles.
Yes.
a.k.a. Super.
Uh-huh.
Yo.
Okay.
What? What? Hey, Super Cole got something to tell y'all too, man. Super Cole got something to tell y'all. That chain is on the way. As well as, Super Cole gonna have something coming real soon on Instagram, letting y'all understand that it's almost time. It is, because I'm telling y'all, because you gotta understand, you gotta really understand something. 2062 is literally right around the corner.
Bro, it's like right there. It's like we're almost there.
It's right there. So, we got to get some updates on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We got some stuff coming, some hot bars and everything. That's mixtape to get to the album is all this way. But either way, until then, we just got to tell y'all, we don't got no, who's sponsoring us today, Dino? Who's sponsoring us today? You know who's sponsoring us today?
Nobody,
because we don't got no damn sponsors. They coming though, but until then, we are unsullied since 2021.
That's right. Hit that like button for us. We appreciate y'all hanging with us, whether live or on the replay. Like I said, we talk about everything pop culture wise, so feel free to leave some comments, and we will definitely get to you in the chat, and we like engaging with you guys. So with no further ado, we already have Vinyl Dragon in the house, of course. He says, "What is up, bro? James and Black Santa keep the grape juice flowing and backing in them powdered white donuts from QT. Those are the ones where you eat them and it looks like you've just like gotten into the Coke stash. You know what I mean? Like once you're done, your fingers and like your whole mouth and nose, it's all covered in just white powder. So
yeah."
He also says, by the way, Black Santa, I'm thinking Comics been handing out them stinky pencils. It's a bit sketchy, bro. I don't even know what that means.
I know what vinyl means. I feel you, man.
What? Feel you what? What? Feel you about what? What am I handing out? Stinky pencils. I don't know what's going on there. All right, let's kick it off with some sports ball stuff. Prominently, the football, the NFL wild card weekend was this last weekend. Probably one of my favorite wild card weekends that we've had in a while. Because, oh my goodness, did we have some teams win that I was happy about and have some teams lose that I was happy about.
I was happy for all of them except for the Eagles loss.
I actually called the Buccaneers win. I thought the Eagles have been losing so much, and what's his face, Baker and Evans were just connecting. Shake and Bake and Evans were connecting in a way like in the last few games that I was like, you know what? If they can't get a stop to that, if the Eagles defense don't get a stop to it, then it's all over. So the only one I got wrong was I didn't think that the Texans would beat the Browns. It was literally the only one that I got wrong. So if I had done like a parlay or whatever, I would have lost just because Houston one, but the rest of them I was very excited about.
Sadly enough, I guess I would have got all of them right, but I did not want the Eagles to lose, obviously. But going in, I've always talked about it's about momentum. It's about having some kind of momentum. And I always bring up the Giants. As bad as each of those Super Bowl years those Giants won, they didn't look that great, but they had just some momentum going in where it's like, all you gotta do is get in, and they got enough momentum to get it rocking. The Eagles was the total opposite. The Eagles had no momentum going in, and we've talked about it up here. And I brought up the fact that the Eagles are winning despite Jalen Hurts playing really bad. Like they was winning, and then they got real bad. And then we talked about it up here. They're not going into the playoffs looking good at all. How do you go 10-1 and then finish the season 11-8? Wait a minute. 11-7, whatever it was. It's like, wait a minute. 11-7. There's a problem here. How you fit? What? Like, you telling me you basically went 6-7 in your last games or something like that? Like, how does that happen? What's going on here? Like they could not get anything going, but it was weird because it wasn't like they didn't beat any good teams. They beat some good teams, the Chiefs and all. Like they beat some good teams. It's just they just could not get it going at the end. And there's people wondering, is there something else going on in that locker room because of some of the stuff Jalen Hurts said in his press conference where it was kind of vague. He was basically like, there's more going on than you guys understand. And it's like, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean?
I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah. He said that in the press. I was like, what does that mean? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, is he getting massages from Deshaun Watson or what's going on there?
Well, to be fair to Deshaun, he won't give it a massage. Well, I don't know. Maybe he was.
Well, now he is.
But it's like, man, the Eagles was really, really, really disappointing, obviously, because there was one of my picks. I mean, one of my picks is still there. The Bills, they're still there. The team I picked to win the whole thing, they're technically still there. Josh Allen, come on, baby.
Josh, you know who showed up?
Now.
You know who showed up on Monday?
Who showed up?
Josh motherfucking Allen. As soon as because I was even sitting there, I was like, man, if Josh motherfucking Allen don't show up, then the Steelers are gonna win. But if you do show up, there's no chance for the Steelers to win.
Damn sure he showed up.
Oh man, I was
throwing it, he was running it, he was scoring everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing my legs, I'm throwing my arms, he was killing it.
Yes. No, I was very happy to see that.
Shout out to Mike Tomlin though, man. 17 straight years without a losing record. That's unbelievable.
It really is.
Unheard of. That's why I've always said, you've always heard me say it up here. Mike Thompson might be my favorite coach, man. Like that's that guy who will make you run through a brick wall, man. Like that dude just knows how to get his guys motivated no matter what's going on, no matter who's playing. This dude can get his team motivated to win some game. Like that right there is a beyond excellent coach. I mean, shout out to that dude, man. Because the Steelers, like, it don't matter who's out there playing. Like they got a chance just because Mike Thompson out there coaching.
I think that he is one of the greatest coaches in the NFL, period, that have existed in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that the reporter was trying to like immediately ask him about his future with the Steelers, which I thought was and I get why he walked out. Even if he left the Steelers, here's the thing. Like, I know how everyone's like, oh, he's always got the winning record, blah, blah, blah. But, like, could he do it with another team? I think he could.
I think, absolutely. Yeah,
I think absolutely he could.
Yeah.
I don't think
there's been some bad Steelers teams, and they still won a lot of games. Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. If I were the Steelers, I wouldn't be trying to lose this man at all. So, I think the fact that they said that he's never had to come within a year of his contract being up or whatever in his
he's
time.
At that stage now.
And now he's at that stage now. Like, okay, but watch us hear some stuff in the offseason about him signing some ridiculous deal.
So, from my understanding, this is all his choice, it seems. He informed his players that he will be back next season. So he will be coaching because a lot of people was thinking he might take the Sean Payton route and take a year off and then come back if he feels like coaching. And there's just some people who feels that from the reports that he just really wants to. He was thinking heavily of taking some time off, and the Steelers do plan on giving him a contract extension. Everything seems to be on his end right now. So
Steelers need to fix.
Up to him.
Steelers don't need to fix their head coaching position. They need to figure out who the fuck is going to be a quarterback.
Yes.
They got quarterback-ass quarterbacks.
Beat the offensive line a little bit and continue to fix that, get that defense continuing to be Steelers defense. But, they got things they got to fix, but especially quarterback. They need them a quarterback that they can truly rely on. So I agree with that fully. Speaking of quarterbacks you can rely on, you talked about it earlier. Shout out to CJ Stroud.
Oh my God. I was literally about to say the same thing. That's hilarious. That's such a great transition there. The CJ Stroud, oh my God. He was the only one where I was like, so obviously, who did I pick that was, he was who I picked who was wrong, right? So, because I was like, man, I don't know. He's a rookie. He's coming in. Flacco has been hot the last couple games. Mm-hmm. The Browns defense pretty dope. Their offensive line pretty good, but God damn, I was proven wrong in a big way. CJ Stroud came through and they just dominated the Browns. That was crazy.
They did. And remember what I talked about with the Browns. As good as it is, and as much as I said, hey, that's a really good team, I talked about Joe Flacco turnovers, man. His turnovers are ridiculous. Even though, Joe Flacco's that dude in the playoffs this whole season. And again, you got to also look at the fact they got this dude literally off his couch. So, I mean, it's not like this dude had an off season to work out and get going. So he's just been kind of getting, more throughout the games and everything. And he's obviously played extremely well overall. So you got to give him props for what he did. But his turnovers are ridiculous. And he did that in the playoffs too. He was throwing an interception, and it's like, dude, come on, man. You're going to cost your team. And that's not just that. Stroud was on fire. Like, this dude was playing unbelievable. You would think this dude was like a 10-year vet.
I'm saying. It's crazy.
He's a rookie? Damn, man.
This is who Tepper, or whatever the fuck his name is, the Carolina owner, decided to pass on?
Nah, I agree with that. But I will also, be fair to Bryce Young, and if I can't say 100% that CJ would be as successful if he was in Carolina. And it's not just because Carolina's team is terrible, because the Texans team ain't necessarily that great, but they're not as bad as Carolina. Don't get that twisted. No, but you also look at who the coach is. And I don't know if the Carolina coach would have gave CJ the opportunities that the Texans coach did. Like, this dude basically said, this is your team, offensively, let's let you get going. I'm going to put you in your position to be the best that you could be. I don't know if Carolina's organization would have gave him that. I don't think they would have set him up to succeed the same way the Texans set him up to succeed too. So I think it really does always come down to, because a lot of players to become busts because of where they go. It's not 100% just on them. It's also on the environment, the team, and the coaching staff, and again, the organization. Mm-hmm. So Carolina's a terrible organization right now. It is what it is. From top to bottom, they're not good.
Pretty much always has been pretty terrible.
To be fair, you're not necessarily wrong. They've kind of always been bad. It's just, Cam Newton was able to mask a lot of that for years.
Cam had a great season, obviously, took him to the Super Bowl. And old Delhomme, back when I was in middle school, had a great season, took him to the Super Bowl, lost to Vinatieri in the last couple seconds of the Super Bowl.
Hey, Vinatieri beat a lot of people in the last couple of seconds.
That's right. I know he did.
So, props to that. That is what it is. That's just amazing. You know who else impressed me now? Jordan Love.
Yeah, baby. How is it fair that Green Bay is now on their third in a row fucking amazing quarterback? They had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Panthers, and now it looks like Jordan Love is going to be that guy for Green Bay. His first season, full season starting for Green Bay, taking them through winning the first wild card playoff game, beating a team that had a better record than them going into the playoffs.
7-point favorite.
Yeah, and the favor. And just showing up, getting that job done, and on the road too.
Yeah. The Green Bay Packers are 6-0 in the AT&T Stadium. The Cowboys' own stadium, the Packers got a better win record than they do.
That's awesome.
And that's counting playoffs. That's just unbelievable. That's embarrassing. And that whole game was an embarrassment for the Cowboys. What vinyl say?
Vinyl says, I saw a big display at Walmart that had DVDs stating the best of the Carolina Panthers past 5 years. I felt, how did they get enough material to make a DVD? That was longer than a 2-minute clip.
That's messed up. That's funny and somewhat true. No, Carolina, they got enough. They got a lot of great players who did play there. The Steve Smith, a lot of defensive players who played there. There's a lot of good stuff about Carolina. It's just
some of the announcers right now,
head.
like you said, Steve Smith, he's now in one of the. He's like a halftime announcer or something, like pregame, halftime, postgame announcer. We got Greg Olson out of Carolina. He is now a commentator, so in-game commentator. We had a whole ass movie based off a dude came out of Carolina from The Blind Side. God, now why am I forgetting his fucking name now though?
He won a Super Bowl with the Ravens.
I'm blanking on his name, but he came from Carolina. So Carolina, has some okay players, okay talent. Some people who've gone on that were only a little bit salty that they were stuck with Carolina for their whole career. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. And another thing that's crazy about Jordan too is that it's like you said, how did they get these guys? He had a spectacular year. He was second in touchdowns passes thrown this year.
I didn't know that.
He was amazing this whole year. I think he was 32 or 30 something and only 11 interceptions compared to being his first full season as a starter. He threw for over 4,000 yards too. I mean, he was amazing and underrated this whole year. We didn't talk about him. Nobody really talked too much about it. The Packers just was doing what they was doing. Handling business. I think what overshadowed them was how successful the Lions was, and everybody was looking at, man, those ankle biters are out here now. They bite, they breaking kneecaps down.
Now they're kneecaps.
All focus on them. Where the Packers are just like, we're good. We're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing. And then they went out there, and my God, the Cowboys. They got some big things. They got to figure some man. How now? I will say this. I think Dak Prescott is the greatest quarterback of all time when it comes to garbage yards. I don't think there's a better quarterback for that. I mean, he can put the points up and the game doesn't matter whatsoever. I mean, it was amazing what he can do every time the game is completely pointless. He'll just come out of nowhere and score. And it's like, damn, where was that when the game mattered? Oh, that's right. You can't do that.
And it looked like he just got off to a rocky start, which Green Bay just kept capitalizing on. And if he hadn't gotten off to that rocky start, then I think they would have won. But to be fair, Green Bay did pull a lot of starters out of the game once they were
48-16.
Once they were up by 30-something points.
6 minutes left.
So it is tough to say one thing or the other. But yeah, man, I was listening to that game on the way home from Georgia. I was in Georgia this weekend for a show. And on the drive back home on Sunday, I just went ahead and put that on. I was shouting, screaming, hooting, hollering, listening to that shit every time Dak Prescott threw an interception or when the Green Bay scored. I was like, woo!
No, watching that game, I gotta say, man, Green Bay just completely. It was like they just big brothered them. I mean, this team was more physical. They was more disciplined. I mean, I don't think if Zach didn't throw any interceptions, you take away the pick six. Honestly, and a little bit good field position, I still think Green Bay just beats them. Like Green Bay was just the better team that day, and they was just they wanted to win way more than the Cowboys did.
Yep.
Like the Cowboys they were not prepared. And you got to look at that at McCarthy and say, dude, what did you do? Your boys weren't ready at all. And again, Zach, I've said it before up here, and I'll say it again. Michael Paulson, a really amazing defensive player, but God knows he is so overrated. So overrated. I mean, yes, he is a good defender. Do not get that twisted. But this dude, stop putting him in the same sentence as the Damian. No, I'm supposed to say David Hunt. It's LT. Like, stop putting this dude in the same sentence as these all-time great defensive players. He's not that. He's not. He's not Lawrence Taylor. He's none of these all-time great defenders. He's a linebacker. He's none of that right now. Right. He's really good, but stop it. This dude don't show up in big games. He don't. He don't. And I personally don't think he ever will. So enough with this guy. He talks so much trash when it's like, bro, when are y'all going to do something that matters? Like, cut it out.
Never.
That whole team, a bunch of disgrace. And Dak Prescott, they're in a bad situation because a lot of people's like, well, they need to cut him. Okay, cool. Well, who the hell are you going to get to replace him? Because he did lead the league in touchdowns this year.
Who did?
Dak Prescott did.
Oh, okay.
He led the league in touchdowns. It's like, it's cool to say you got to replace. And don't get me wrong, I don't think he's never going to be a franchise quarterback that can take your team to the Super Bowl and win it with him being the number one reason. That's never going to happen. He's not that good. He's not. But at the same time, who the hell are you going to replace him with? Who? Who? Seriously, who are you going to replace him with? What quarterback is out there right now? You're going to draft somebody and hope that he's that good? It doesn't work like that. Look how many teams have done that, how well that's worked out.
Right.
So it's like you kind of stuck with him. And guess what? You got a lot of people to pay. Michael Paulson is going to have to get paid real soon. CeeDee Lamb, I think his contract's pretty much, he needs to get paid this offseason. A couple of other defensive players, and Zach Prescott's going to have an extension you're going to have to worry about. Cowboys in a real bad spot because I don't think this team is good enough to win.
I love to see it.
Me too.
I love seeing the Cowboys lose. So the more they lose, it's all good. All right, so let's go ahead and just do some predictions for the divisional round. So we got Texans Ravens. Should be a good game. I'm thinking Ravens though.
Going with the Ravens, right?
I'm going with the Ravens. Yeah,
the Ravens are the team that should take care of business. And I agree. And this is one of those things because Lamar is going to win MVP.
Okay.
And he's going to be a 2-time MVP. There's some people saying he might end up being unanimous, which would be amazing. Because I kind of think I don't remember if he was unanimous the first time he won the MVP. He might have been.
I don't know.
So he would definitely be the first player to ever be a 2-time unanimous MVP. Pretty sure about that.
Wow.
So that is the team to go with, and that makes the most sense, hands down. Because he's going to have to show up, step up, and take care of business.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would agree with that one. The Ravens should be the team to win.
Then we got Packers 49ers, which I'm going 49ers.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
I have to. That's who I picked.
You have to.
All, so. I have to go 49ers.
And this is one of those things where the 49ers have to too. Because they can't go down. Again, I would love to see the Packers take care of business, and the Packers can sneak up on them, especially if the 49ers don't take this shit serious. They can end up just like the Cowboys.
Oh, of course.
But, yeah, the 49ers should be able to take care of business here. But the scariest thing is that Green Bay is coming in hot. I mean, real hot. And the 49ers are coming in lukewarm.
they're coming in and lukewarm and also a little sleepy.
Yeah.
They got the bye, so you never know how that's going to affect them either. Then we got Bucks Lions, which I think is probably going to be the closest game. But I'm going to have to go Lions.
I'm going Lions too. I'm definitely going Lions on that. Shake and Bake, man, he out here trying to prove something. He said, he the new heir apparent to the dynasty. He said Tom Brady did what he did, now it's his time. But man, the Lions have just impressed me all year.
Yeah.
Props to them too, going in there and handling business, making sure they didn't lose at home. Just taking out, hey man, Matthew Stafford, man, he did get that Super Bowl, but I know it felt good for those Lion fans to kind of get, beat him too. He did get hurt, so hopefully he's okay overall. But
it doesn't look like he was like majorly hurt.
No, but still,
yeah.
And again, he is a Super Bowl champion, and his team want the hell. There's no excuse either way. The Lions have been unbelievable this whole year. They've been fighting, and I hope this is more of hope. I want them to kind of get there. I want them to kind of keep on winning because this is amazing. This is the best story in football.
Yeah, I think they got one.
So I want to kind of keep going.
But I don't think anything after that. And then we got Chiefs Bills. I know you're going Bills. I'm going Bills, bro.
Of course, Bills. I have to go with the Bills.
I know. I'm going Bills. Bills at home finally beat the Chiefs and go to their Super Bowl.
Man, I hope they. I hope they do. The problem is,
they're going to the
even if they get to the Chiefs, they still gonna have to face the Ravens or the Texans.
That's true. Bills, Ravens. I would love to see that. Yeah, I think Bills beat. I think Bills beat Chiefs just because Bills have a stronger team overall, and that's just what I think.
I'm going Bills, of course, because I have to. But man, when a guy got you a number in sports, they usually keep on dialing it. And Patrick has that number when it comes to the playoffs. So
he had that number at home, though. At home, he had that number. I don't know.
It's the playoffs, though, man.
It's been close most of the time, and one of those times that they won, it was that they changed a rule over it. So let's just, I don't know.
Are we talking about that offsides thing?
No,
they ain't changed the rules.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the overtime.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about overtime.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very excited to see. Next weekend it's going to be a good time watching these teams go at it, and if you're a betting person, I put some money on our picks.
The biggest thing here is that because like that Texan Ravens game is going to be real interesting to me, because if the Texans can keep that shit close, they'll probably win that game.
Maybe.
So the Ravens, I think, need to really come out and like just establish the MVP and the dominance early, because if you give a team like that, definitely a guy like CJ Stroud, he has nothing to lose now. Like, he's already done everything he needed to do for this rookie season. He not only got to the playoff, he won a playoff game. Like, he's playing with house money right now.
True.
Like, and even if they do get blown out, it's still going to be nothing but giving this man his flowers for how amazing he was this whole season, and that overall, that whole team, coaching staff, from top to bottom, franchises are nothing but their flowers. So
I agree with you. I think, I agree with you. I think he's in a very fortunate position right now. Even if he is, like you said, even if he is blown out, it'll be like, well, he is the rookie going up against the league MVP, the season MVP, most likely, question mark, probably, this year. So
I'm saying 100% league MVP. I don't see anybody else who can get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, so at that point, even if you're like, oh, man, I don't want to throw 3 interceptions, taking risks or whatever, because I'm going to get blown up by the media all week, I don't think so. No. Like, you're going to get, here and there, be like, oh, well, they're going to show your interceptions, right? But it's, it's more going to be like, the defense stepped up, I think, more than like, CJ Stroud just couldn't cut it. Like, he got a scrub team to the playoffs. So,
yeah, he's definitely not going to get hammered. They're going to be like, look, man, and that's the best thing. A lot of times when you're in your first playoff game, especially when you're a rookie or when you're in a few years in, you get so much leeway. It don't really hit unless you have that string over and over interceptions in multiple games in the playoffs. Usually around your third year, if you third time in the playoffs, and you keep that going, then that thing's gonna stick, and they're gonna start saying, "Wait a minute, he's a problem in the playoffs." But your first couple of times in the playoffs, you get some leeway, and especially your first time, so he's gonna get some leeway. And if I'm him, I'm just throwing that shit, man. But of course, you got to play smart, and he's been playing smart. So again, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens.
For sure. All right. Anything else sports wise before we move on?
No. The Knicks made a good trade for OJ. He's playing pretty good.
OJ.
Yeah, OJ Simpson.
I knew it. I knew he was coming back.
Knew it. The Pacers just made a trade with the Raptors. That could be interesting. I don't know yet. We're gonna see if my Lakers gonna make any trades. It's a shame they have to. It's been a beyond disappointing year for the Lakers. Nah, nothing really. That's pretty much it.
All right. Let's move into some comic books type stuff. First of all, we got to talk about Echo because that came out a couple weeks ago. We weren't able to talk about it last week. So, Echo, have you watched it?
I have.
You have watched it? 5 episodes. What do you think?
It was boring.
Oh, okay.
Bored.
You were bored.
I was bored, man. Kingpin was pretty cool. He was awesome. Anytime he was on the screen, it was awesome.
Okay.
And it kind of got me wondering. Definitely the way it's said. There'll be spoilers probably in this conversation at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Spoiler alert for Echo. If you haven't watched all 5 episodes, we are going to be discussing it in detail. So
yes,
yeah, go ahead.
And it's weird because now I will say this too that disappointed me when I read that the people who was in charge of it or whatever, they was like, yeah, Echo powers in the comics are lame. So we're like, why are you taking shots? Like that's always the worst thing you can do is to take multiple shots at the source material like that. That's not
Seems
smart.
like that's a common thing that's happening too.
With people who don't really know comics like that or manga or whatever. They're just the material very well. They're so quick to judge. Yeah, right. You're right. It does seem like a common thing that's happening now. But you're also seeing the same thing where it's the people who are not truly invested though neither. Where it's like these are not the people that grew up reading comics like that or grew up reading this character in particular. You can tell.
Right.
But yeah, they made sure they took their shots and they changed up how she works. And apparently, she's getting these ancestor powers and she can touch people and all this stupid shit. It was boring as hell to me. Again, Kingpin was awesome, and like I was gonna say, when at the end of it, the way it set things up, it kind of got me wondering if there is going to be a villain for Spider-Man 4 like that. Maybe it's Kingpin. Maybe he's going to be the fucking villain.
They do seem to be setting up Kingpin for more than just Daredevil.
Yeah, because they're doing them. It looks like obviously they're setting up the mayor stuff, so it looks like he's going to become mayor, and then it would make a lot of sense for it to be not just Daredevil, and it would be really, really, really awesome for him to be his main villain, be Spider-Man.
Of course, yeah.
I think that'd be great.
I mean, being as he was introduced to Spider-Man, he was a main villain in the Spider-Man animated series. I mean, he's always a threat in Spider-Man video games, it seems like. So, of course, it would be pretty awesome for him to go up against Spider-Man. Even to have like a one-on-one fight scene with Spider-Man would be fucking.
And it would actually make sense. It would make so much sense for him to be the villain of Spider-Man 4.
Of course. With the kid, right?
Yeah.
With Tom Holland, you're talking about? Okay, because they've been rumoring talking about bringing back Garfield for Spider-Man. So,
and what's crazy about it, technically, it would. I mean, and it's not like it's never happened in comics, but we had that symbiote tease. What if he's the one who gets the symbiotes? He got in the comics.
Venomized Kingpin?
Right.
Oh my god.
it was awesome in the comics, and it'd be awesome here too. So I mean, and it would make sense. It would be something. It would be something relatively new because most people don't really like know that or read that. So it would be relatively new, especially to a lot of fans who are so used to it being Eddie.
Right.
It could be somebody else, and it doesn't have to be Flash Thompson. It could be fucking Kingpin in that story, and that would be awesome for the movie. Again, and my only gripe with the Holland series, I got a few. My biggest thing is he's never had a single movie where he stood alone, where it's just him. He always has to have other people with him. It's like other people have to carry him through this. No, let Spider-Man be Spider-Man by himself. We don't need Nick Fury. We don't need Iron Man. We don't need any of the Avengers. We don't need none of them showing up. Let it just be him, Kingpin, and just Spider-Man shit. We don't need the other Spider-Man showing up. No, it's just him.
All right, so I'm with you. And I'm with you that we do need Spider-Man, like for real Spider-Man solo. But at the same time, I kind of like how they had done it in those first two, Homecoming and Far From Home, because it showed kind of like how new and inexperienced he was, and just like how much help he really fucking needed to be a superhero. So I don't know. I'm with you that he does need something where it's like just him, but at the same time, like for him handling an Avengers level threat by himself, you know what I mean? Because he did technically. He faced Vulture, who was handling the fucking, or was going after the alien tech or whatever with that Iron Man was trying to study and didn't even quite understand himself, and then he went up against Mysterio, who was trying to feign an Avengers level threat, and accidentally created one, basically. So it was kind of like it was.
I can't really call them Avenger level threats, though. I can't call them
multi-person threat, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know about needing the whole team to take it out.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna call them Avenger. The Avengers need to go in there to beat Vulture. Like, come on, son. Like that's a little extreme right there. Like, let's call the Avengers because Vulture's here. Too much, bro.
Well, it was like, bro, Shocker was there too. Come on now.
Just Shocker was there. Yeah, Shocker. Shocker's the one we need the Avengers for. Holy shit, dude. Shocker's here. Yo, call the Hulk. We need Thor. Thor, come down from Asgard with the rest of them, bro. We got Shocker in the building, bro.
Thor. He's got electricity. We need God of Thunder.
We need you to stop Shocker, bro. We need it, bro. Oh, the gods need to save us from the fucking legendary Shocker.
Shocker.
But I feel you on that. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. But another part of Spider-Man that always been awesome is seeing Peter have to figure these things out on his own and having him grow. That's what made Spider-Man because of the fact that people reading can relate this to Peter in a lot of ways because he was like this kid or college kid or whatever era you want to look into. He was this kid just trying to figure everything out on his own, essentially. Remember, he did try to go to the Fantastic Four, and it was like, "Nah, fam, you good. It's the Four. We don't need you." So he had to figure all this stuff out on his own.
Multiple times. I mean, he did that
multiple times, and him taking on these threats by himself and learning is what made him become one of the most reliable heroes in all of Marvel, because it was like he had to learn these things and he made mistakes, but he learned. And that's the thing that, I kind of miss from this Tom Holland era is of seeing Spider-Man learn more things on his own without having to rely so much on him getting so many teachers to teach him these things. But I like both sides either way. I'm with you on either way. Both sides are fine. So it's just just talking about
a good just like street level, just Spider-Man versus whoever. Kingpin, of course, preferable, but I'm with you on that. But here my thoughts on Echo. I thought that pacing wise, it was a little shaky. So I'm with you where some parts were definitely boring, and then some
Too
parts
much
it
of
was
that
like
family shit, man.
you said too much family
It was
shit.
too much of that family shit, man. I mean, like, good lord, man. I was seriously. I'm not even playing. I thought it became so much. I thought it was a gag. I thought Vin Diesel was gonna walk up in there, you know, take off his Groot costume and just sit down. They're like, "Why are you here?" This family. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Now, I mean, like I was waiting for that. I'm not even playing. Like it was too much of that stuff, man.
So there were some pacing issues for sure in Echo, but overall, I thought it was solid. Like honestly, I didn't. I thought as far as what we have gotten, outside of Loki, I thought it was a solid show. Thought the action was good. I thought Kingpin was a commanding presence. Finally on screen, he's back to Kingpin again, so that was good.
You
And
didn't like that Kate Bishop did show up and like whoop his ass? You didn't like that?
yeah, I was glad that Kate Bishop was not a part of the show.
Okay.
I was also glad they didn't try to sneak in like Yelena Belova or something like that, because I honestly I had a feeling like something like that was going to happen, and I was
waiting for Echo to like just whip her dick out and just beat the shit out.
Yeah, honestly, a big prosthetic dick to go with her prosthetic leg. And
why do you have to be so offensive?
Bro, you're the one who said it first. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't say anything about prosthetic this and prosthetic that. I just talked about her, just whooping his ass.
You just said, Echo, whip out her dick. Right now. You said it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just making sure we're on the same page here. All right. Overall, it got pretty much an average of 70% positive reviews from both critics and audience. So, I mean, and that's pretty much what I would rate it. I wasn't going to say like it was a 10 out of 10 show, but I also wasn't going to say it was like a 2 out of 10 show or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, 7 out of 10 would be right around where I would put it. Maybe even a 6.5, 7. I thought it was, I thought it was a solid show. I liked how it centered on Maya. I liked the culture aspects, the historical aspects were pretty cool. That one opening scene that had like nothing to do with anything, but it was just like the Native American sport that since has become lacrosse. I thought that shit was kind of dope. Even though it had really nothing to do with the story. I was like, oh, at all. That's kind of cool. But like the pacing shit, like where Maya was just on her motorcycle for a solid 5 minutes of screen time.
The first episode essentially being a fucking recap.
All that shit could have been cut. The recap I get because not everyone's watched Hawkeye.
I don't.
It could have been wrapped up a little quicker.
Bro, if you're so confident in your fucking streaming service, you don't need to have the first episode be a basic recap of the fucking Hawkeye and all this Kate Bishop. Like, I don't need all that, bro. Like, I already seen that. Well, me, I didn't because I didn't want to because it was trash. But the point is, I know what happened, and you shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to watch that for pretty much the first episode. I'm not here for that.
No, but you didn't watch it, so that's exactly why I did.
And guess what? I was 100% understanding why. That was boring too. I was like, bro, let's fast forward this. This is terrible. No, the pacing was just to me, the pacing was beyond terrible, man. It was so much just pointless time in there. And again, I get what you're saying. A lot of that stuff, I will say, yeah, it was cool. But also, if I want to see some of that stuff, like the Native American stuff, I would have fucking, read a book, or I would look into some.
I would read a book. Oh my god!
Look at some National Geographic. Look, I was there not for all of that. I wanted to see, like, from what they shown in the commercials and all this, the publicity and all that stuff they was like showing. I didn't feel that's what I got in the series. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. Like, maybe 2 or 3 of her kicks was really impressive, but it was not enough action for me. And honestly, it was just boring. It just was boring to me, man. I didn't enjoy it. I will say it was not like the worst thing ever. It's definitely not a 2, definitely not a 3. It's nothing like that. I would give it a 5.5.
Okay.
At best a 6. So it wasn't like the worst thing ever, no. But it disappointed me from what I wanted. It wasn't what I wanted, and it was just boring to me. It dragged. And I see why it was only 5 episodes.
Here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these shows, I'd say like Falcon and Winter Soldier, Echo, Hawkeye, I feel like they could have been cut down into a movie. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I did.
I feel like they would have performed a lot better too.
I did too.
Even if it wasn't like a theater release movie.
Yeah.
A movie that was a Disney Plus exclusive movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But like to have them a little bit more dragged out, I guess, as shows.
I agree.
Like some of the shows we definitely didn't need at all, like She-Hulk.
No.
That really didn't add anything at all. But Echo, I think if you were to cut it down, and then like you said, like if it was movie to movie, you definitely wouldn't have had the recap stuff. Although it did show like more behind the scenes stuff in the recap. Like it wasn't like a complete just like showing the same shit. Like it did show 1 or 2 scenes that was the same thing, but it wasn't just like, oh, you're watching 20 minutes of stuff that you really watched. It was like other sides of stuff.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't need a recap, 20 minutes, so that's gone. A lot of the motorcycle riding is gone. Those other scenes that, like I said, I thought it was kind of cool, like the Native American lacrosse thing. I thought it was cool, but you would definitely cut that for the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like
no, you're right.
We are fighting attention spans too. We gotta keep that in mind. Well, especially with
yeah, go on. You're right. Yeah, go on.
Especially with what we have post-COVID, all these people who are like the MCU's been dead since Infinity War, and they're probably gonna say that no matter what. But if we have some like, just straight up action, cut to the chase type movies instead of 5 to 9 episode long stuff on characters that it's like, instead we could have a 2 to 3 hour movie instead of a 5-hour show. And I don't know. That's kind of how I think would improve it.
I fully agree with you. I think you're 100% right, because like you said, the biggest thing, it would actually help with the pacing. Because you can cut so much stuff that's unnecessary, the motorcycle scenes and all the unnecessary stuff that you don't need. That you can cut that stuff out. It would have to be cut, and it's brought down more. And there's certain shows like that would have benefited heavily from that. And I think Echo definitely would have benefited heavily from that. And like you said, a Disney exclusive movie, Disney Plus exclusive movie, that would have been great. That would have been perfect. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, we do this movie, we have to put it in theaters. No, because I don't think an Echo movie is going to do well in theaters. I don't.
Right.
So you don't need to do that. And you don't need to put all those people out in the movies. It would be perfect for some of these shows to just be a Disney Plus exclusive. That'd be great.
Right.
That's all it needs to be. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. That would have been awesome. It would have been much better, and I think I probably would have enjoyed it more. But for what it was, it wasn't the worst thing. I want to make sure I clarify that. It's not like I'm like, oh my god, this thing completely sucked. Don't watch it. No.
I think it was about the same as Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for another one to compare it to.
Yeah, I think that's a fair one.
Because it was not as bad as She-Hulk.
No.
Not as bad as like the What If stuff, which I still haven't even watched the season 2. But if you're talking about like,
so no,
it was I thought it was better than Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Although Hawkeye had some redeemable stuff, but like what they did with Kingpin and Hawkeye just really just fucking killed me.
Yeah, I mean the power scaling was.
It was just
they made some of the biggest chumps in the world, and it's like, bro, seriously.
Yeah,
like, I know there's a lot of Hawkeye memes out there because of how he's like the most useless Avenger for a lot of people when they're watching the movies. But Hawkeye in the comics actually has some really cool moments. So it's like, like damn,
and even in that comic,
he's a badass in the comics a lot of times. So it's like,
even in the fucking comic that was based on, it would like you go back and read that the Kate Bishop and Clint comic, it's like, God damn, like the material's right fucking there for you.
Right, it's right there. But again, for some reason, a lot of these guys, and again, and it's fair, these are people who are not comic book lovers. They're just loving the money of what comic books can give you. So they're not really so into the source material as, you know, me or you are actual people who actually know what goes on and reads. They're just looking at, you know, this is dude from the MCU. We're just going to just look at that stuff, and he doesn't really do much, so we'll make him more of a joke, and we'll have him get his ass kicked a lot, and that's funny. It's not. And all it did was hurt the series,
right?
So, because you piss off the comic fans, and they're just like, "Oh, look at this garbage," and it doesn't help. You could have made way more money if you would have just been smart about it. But no, they didn't. They don't want to do that kind of stuff. They want to crap on the actual source material and talk about how lame it actually is. And it's like, that's also not going to make your fan base happy. But yeah, you do that,
right?
And that's just
so as far as so the next show that they really seem to be hyping, although it's not going to be for a while, is the Daredevil Born Again.
Oh yeah.
So basically at the end of Echo, we have Fisk, who is like furious with Maya for not fully joining him and his team. But he is hearing like a news report that's basically like who's going to be the next mayor, who is going to be the challenger to come up and basically take the city. And I mean, everyone who knows, you know, that Fisk becomes mayor knows what he's thinking at that point is that he wants to be mayor of New York City. So it looks like we're going to get that he is going to be mayor. He's going to find out who Daredevil is. He's going to it's things are going to start falling into place or how they're setting it up for Kingpin to be a serious contender for being a major threat ground level wise in the MCU.
Yeah, because remember what he did when he became mayor. He had it where superheroes, like, it was basically like the registration all over again. Like superheroes was not able to work in New York, you know, and use their powers like that. You know, it had to be way more government, and like King was like, nah, you can't just do that shit.
He was very smart as far as control of the government and control of criminal activity. And so basically he was just getting money on both sides, hand over fist, and he was it. Everything went through him.
And that's why I'm like, man, that could be a great Spider-Man 4 story. Because people have forgotten Peter's Spider-Man. Cool. But Spider-Man's still there, and they know Spider-Man. So like he's trying to do his shit, and Kingpin's like, nah, kid. Nah, fam. You ain't doing that. Like, look at, and it's such an easy story to tell too, because it's like, all he has to be like, look at everything that, especially here in New York, you remember what happened with the Avengers and all the crap that they did and all this stuff. Yeah, they've saved lives, but look at all the bad things. And again, human, and it also sets up for the X-Men too. And this is where all that like hatred for mutants and everything and all that good stuff, because it's like humans are like, if superheroes was real, of course there's gonna be people who love them, but more people are gonna be fearful and scared and angry and jealous because we don't have that power. We can't do that shit. Why come they can? Why do they have the right to do all that? Like, it's going to be more of that kind of stuff. And it's an easy story for you to tell. And it's an easy way for Fisk to even become mayor in New York with that kind of hatred and fear. And it's such a good and easy story you could freaking tell, man. That's why I'm like, man, they're gonna not do that, are they?
I think that they're gonna come close. I think that Born Again is gonna be Fisk becoming truly becoming mayor early in.
Yeah.
Learning who Daredevil is, and so John Bernthal's already signed on. They just announced that Foggy and Karen are coming back for the show.
Yeah.
So they're signed back on. So basically the Daredevil Netflix is canon now. So that is confirmed, and we're going from there.
Yeah.
So obviously Daredevil knows what a piece of shit Fisk is, but if you're looking at he's gonna play that card with all the higher ups where they don't know what they just kind of know that he's a powerful, respected person. They don't really know he is the kingpin of the underground type of thing. So if Daredevil can get Spider-Man, oh, that would be a cool cameo in Daredevil Born Again, bro.
Would be. That would be a really cool cameo. And I
Sony would never let
rather,
it happen, but I think that would be a really cool cameo.
yeah, it would be, and it'll be a payback. We got to see Daredevil technically
Yeah.
show up in Spider-Man, so it can be a
Yeah.
payback there. That would be
So
awesome.
for him to
That would be
show
really,
up a little bit, yeah, I think that would be cool.
yeah, that'd be really dope. That'd be really dope. And that way you can technically have it where he shows up in, I would do that. He shows up in obviously it's not that super simple because you have to get the write-off from Sony, obviously. So it's not as simple as oh well, it's just an easy payback. It's not that simple. People really got to understand how characters and copyrights work. It is not simple at all just to do that. It's a
Right.
lot of money and hoopla you have to go through to get that shit right. Even if you have a working
ridiculous.
a working deal going, it's still. But anyway,
Yeah.
you can have him show up there, and then you don't even necessarily have to. If Kingpin is the villain in Spider-Man 4, you don't have to have Daredevil show up in that. You could just have him mention the conversation they've had off camera. And the information he got, and then that's the perfect way to do it. You don't even have to have him be there.
Right.
So I that would be dope if they had Peter show up in that in Born Again. That'd be freaking amazing for a really, really cool cameo. But it's just hard for me to get my hopes up, for anything.
Yeah.
Obviously that's out the water. That probably won't happen. But I'm just saying, just to get excited for anything right now, Marvel wise, it's just hard, man. It's so hard.
It is tough. It is tough. Born Again being scrapped and being rewritten, firing all the creatives and Kevin Feige being no, try again. Yeah, I get it. I get why we're having to do that. I'm just hoping that the new people that are being brought in, at least just read Born Again.
Please.
It's only five. It's 150 pages, bro.
Right.
Just read it, and then you can go ahead and start writing.
Even if you have to, I'm pretty sure y'all made enough. Y'all have somebody read it for you. Read it to you, not read it for you. Read it to you. Have somebody just read it to you in your spare time.
Hire a comic book nerd to just talk to you.
Hire one of us. Hire both of us.
Hire us. Here,
Hire
Kevin
us.
Feige.
Yes.
Kevin, this is talking directly to Kevin. Kevin.
Yeah.
Give us a
hashtag send this to him.
Yeah, hashtag send this to Kevin. Just hire me and Black Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Just pay us a collective $500,000. We know you got it, bro. Come on.
$500,000.
We'll spend 1 month in LA in an office.
Yes.
We'll bring sleeping bags. We'll even stay in the office.
We'll even stay in the office. We will sleep in the office. Yes.
We will Uber Eats the liquor and food to the office.
Right.
So we don't even have to leave the office. With that $500,000, it'll be okay.
Exactly.
And we will write you
Yeah.
the greatest Born Again fucking series that you've ever read in your life.
Ever. Ever in your whole life. And then think about that. It's honestly a pretty sweet deal because we're just asking for our money up front You know what I'm saying? You guys would make so much money moving forward afterwards. You know, we're not even going crazy saying you got to give us all these rights and this and that. Nah, man. Nah.
Look, we also need hookers, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, yeah. That's something. Now that's something we can discuss. You know,
that could just be like a clause in the contract or whatever. But like, you know, just understand that that's also on the table.
But look, we're just saying hookers. We're not talking about hookers and blow. So you know, it's all good. It's all good. That's why we don't got no damn sponsors. But it's all good though. It's all good.
It's just like, it just blows my mind sometimes. All the people that you could hire for this stuff that they do, and they pick these people who like don't not only like haven't read or don't read the comics, but openly brag about, oh yeah, I never read the comic books. I never read. Person who did She-Hulk, I never read a single She-Hulk comic book. Why is that a brag?
Yeah. And I'm like, how do you not get fired?
Imagine if I was Steven Spielberg and I was making Jurassic Park, and I was like, I never read the book Jurassic Park, even a little bit.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like, we're talking about in the 90s. This book came out in the 80s. And they're like, I never, bro, not only did I not read it, but you're a fucking nerd for having read that book.
Nerd! Reading books. Fuck is wrong with you? You want to get laid, were you?
Like, can you imagine? That's crazy. That is imagine Favreau making Mandalorian and being like, I never watched any Star Wars movie before making Mandalorian. Yeah. What the fuck is Star Wars? Can you imagine how mad people would get? Like, it's just insanity to me where they're like, I never read a comic book. It's like, why?
How is that not in your claw? Like, even if you, like, one, it should be, you need to read this. And even if it's not like you need to read it, it should be one that at least says you are not allowed to openly say at any point in time you never read it.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't.
How are you hired? Who is hiring people? Who is picking these people?
I'm wondering, man. You got us going who 2 times in the video. I don't know who the hell is doing this shit. I don't get it. I
really don't.
I said again, I don't see how they. I don't see. I would have fired old girl right then and there. I would have fired a bunch of these people as soon as they say that shit out loud, and get it put into an article or something. I'm like, this is what you said, right? Yeah.
You know what's one really cool thing about the chick who plays Miss Marvel is that she often openly brags about the fact that she reads like all the Miss Marvel shit. All of it. Super nerd. She's take pictures in her LCS, her local comic shop. She's there. She's about it. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Dope. The show was whatever.
That's probably why she's really like the best performer out of them.
Right. Yeah. That's why she outperforms Carol Danvers because, Brie Larson, I don't know. I'm not going to say she's never read a comic book or anything. She's a great actress. She's a great actress, but like,
I'm not going to overall say like, oh, she's a better actress than her. But in this particular situation,
the passion. It's about the passion, bro. It's about being like right there with the characters. So like, or at least having some source material to fall back on. That's not like just me pulling shit out of my ass. Or like, even if you want to take it out of comic books and talk about like The Witcher and the fucking shit that went on there.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
I don't even know what The Witcher is. I'm just doing this shit.
Garrett, who the fuck is that?
Yeah. Gerald.
Unicorn? Who the hell is that? Trish? Who the hell are these people? No, they don't matter. They're not important. He had a horse named Roach? No, he didn't have that.
I mean, you could be, dude. We could go on about this. Like, if you said like the director of One Piece or like the actor for One Piece or whatever, like, not only have I never read the manga, I've never even seen an episode of the dude. People would revolt immediately.
Yeah, I'll be one of
So
them.
why is that not like our reaction to these idiots that are saying this shit for the MCU? It's just crazy. I don't know.
I don't know neither, man. I don't know neither.
But obviously, it shows because
Mm-hmm.
the chick who played She-Hulk has basically all but come out and said that there will not be a She-Hulk season 2. I know we're all surprised about that.
Oh, big shock. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, what would have led to that?
I'm not going to waste my water by pouring out, for a dead homie because it's not a homie.
Pour out for the dead homie. Pour out some malt liquor for the dead homie. She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And then twerk on it.
Twerk on it? Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Ahsoka, however, is getting a season 2. We are getting a season 2 of Ahsoka.
Hey man, it's Star Wars and it's space alien boobs. Let's go.
I guess, yeah, sure. Mandalorian / Grogu also getting a movie, according to Jon Favreau.
A movie?
Yeah, he's doing a movie. I don't know if it's going to be like an in-theaters movie or we're doing it like a Disney Plus movie or I don't know. But apparently there's going to be a Mandalorian movie. And yeah, Mandalorian movie going forward. Ahsoka season 2 going forward. She-Hulk not going forward.
I mean, again, The Mandalorian is so popular and overall was extremely popular. So a movie is, honestly, it is the next step. So it makes sense.
I guess.
I'm not saying I would do it, but I'm saying it makes sense. And it's usually the routine that that goes. So, I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. It's not shocking or confusing. It's like, okay. Don't mean it's going to be good, but I mean, okay.
I just don't know, like, I don't know how they keep moving forward with this particular storyline. Even with Ahsoka, you know what I mean?
No, I understand that. But the way Hollywood works, you can just look at the Fast series. They just keep on pushing it and pushing it. And
like Ahsoka season 2, like, it's just... Where do you go from, like, what... I don't know. It was so not memorable.
No, not at all.
Like,
because
they really pulled on the nostalgia strings with the Clone Wars bullshit. They kept throwing Anakin in there. And it's just like the power scaling was off for everything.
Of course.
Ahsoka was either like really strong or not so strong. The Sith that they introduced were either like kicking ass or not kicking ass. And like it really just depended on what they needed to happen at that particular second.
Right. And that is the worst kind of power scaling. So yes.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what a season. I don't know, man. Season 2 of Ahsoka. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that memorable neither. So yeah, season 2, baby. Let's go.
I guess
Black Santa won't be watching, but let's go.
Black Santa will not be. I don't even know if I'm going to be watching that one. I might wait till like the whole thing's done and then give it a shot. But which is what I'm doing with Percy Jackson right now, which is like a kids type show. But I really liked those books when I was much younger. I think we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to end because I've been hearing good things and that it's like very bingeable. Like you can you get upset that like the show or the episode ended and you're like you gotta wait a week. I already hate doing that and I don't care enough. It's not like as interesting to me as The Boys or something like that where I have to watch it week to week. So I was just kind of waiting for it to be all over so I could watch it all in like one thing. Which reminds me, Chris.
Oh,
I watched.
He's gonna say it.
the first 4 or 5 episodes
Mm-hmm.
of Cyberpunk.
Yeah, there it is.
I was not. You're not gonna like.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Like. I really tried to get into it, and I just could not get into it, man. I really tried, though.
What didn't you like?
I don't know. It just wasn't grabbing me for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I like. It just was not holding me completely full. I'm gonna try again. I promise you, I'm gonna try again because I did try, and I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
And maybe if I go back and like rewatch, having already like known who some of the characters and like some of the plot points and everything, I'm going to go back, try to watch again and see if it like carries me through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wasn't getting into it. I don't know what it was. It just wasn't holding me.
I definitely still need you to at least finish it because it ain't that many episodes at least.
No, it's not. I know, and I just need to like do a reset and then like just fucking go through it again. But I did.
Well, see, you made it simple too because I was gonna let you talk about Percy and I was gonna be like, damn. So have you watched? But look at that, you at least watched it. That's all I can ask for. I can't be so upset.
No, I know. I like. It's not. It wasn't like I was gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, it was awful." It was
yeah.
That.
You didn't say that.
No. It was not. Yeah, it was just like I was. Yeah, I couldn't get. I wasn't like, oh, I gotta watch the next episode type of thing. It for me, but I've never been a huge into anime,
right?
Either. So that could have something to do with it. I don't know, but I am gonna try to restart it from episode 1 and go through. I think, like I said, I think I made it through 4 episodes, maybe 5, but I think it was 4. Okay. And so I'm gonna try again and do it again. I thought like overall concept, like it was interesting. It just wasn't like, I don't know, there wasn't that like, oh, I gotta keep going. I gotta finish it. I gotta watch it type of thing. Just for me, personally.
All right, that's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair. I want your honest opinion on those kind of things. So, let's go. Well, like I said, once you give it another shot and really watch into it, we'll talk more about it. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm just happy. I'm happy you finally watched it, though.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. About damn time.
Yeah.
That's good.
The action I thought was spot on. Like I thought it was, the action was crazy, especially some of the stuff they were doing with like the opening scenes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, holy shit! And then you come out and he was like controlling a character, but it was like real life. I was like, oh, okay, I can see that. But then like the other bullshit that he was dealing with, I was like, it doesn't interest me as much.
We'll get more into it and we'll see. But that's good, though. Sure. Again, I'm very happy that you watched it. That's what's up. That's the main thing. You did give it a shot. You watched it. Yeah. You gave it a shot. That's what's up right there.
I'm going to give it another shot.
You ain't disrespecting me in front of my kids anymore, James. My kids.
In front of the kids. Oh, shit. We got anything else that you want to talk about this week?
Oh, man. Yeah and no, but I watched a new anime, the Kingdom in Ruins. Okay. I watched that for the first time, and that was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Kingdom in
I watched the whole first season. I think it was like 12, 13 episodes. I watched that shit I really got into it, so I ended up watching that the whole day. It's essentially about like humans versus witches in a way.
Okay.
And like the main character, his mentor was a witch, and she trained him and everything, and he really loved her as a kid and everything. And when she gets killed, he goes on this extreme revenge tour. Like they have my man locked up for like 10 years basically, and then when he got free, this dude goes on this crazy revenge tour, and it's really cool watching his perspective on certain things change. But like this dude's like, no, all humans must die, but he's technically a human himself. He wasn't a witch. He was trained by one, but he's technically a human. But man, like it's really cool. I really enjoyed that. So I was watching that. Funny enough, I've been watching a lot of Sword Art. I never watched the movies, but I finally watched some of the movies for Sword Art Online. One of the movies was like 2 hours and 30 something minutes. I was like, wait, what? Why is this movie so long? Come to
Right.
find out, it got released in theaters. I was like, that's why it's so long.
Yeah.
But it did extremely well too. It hit huge numbers. Like it's like
Okay.
damn, like Sword Arc is really popular. It's one of those. It's oh man. But yeah, I enjoyed the movies so far. I watched like 3 of them, I think, and I enjoyed each of the movies. Like I really come to like Sword Art Online a whole lot more than I did 10 years ago. I just never really gave it a chance, and once I have, I'm like, damn man, this shit's amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been watching a few animes. I'm gonna be telling y'all some more stuff, and next week I'm gonna have a few anime segments next week too. But
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna definitely have some fun with that.
Hell yeah, that sounds good.
Hell
All
yeah.
right, I think we will wrap it up for this week. Go ahead and hit that like button, smash it, mash it,
Mash
kiss
it.
it, lick it.
Yeah, make a little love to
Uh,
it. Get all nasty.
uh, yeah, that's a subscribe. We appreciate you watching live or on the replay. We will be back next week, next Wednesday, either 8 p.m., 9 p.m., whenever we can fit into the schedule. And yeah, as always, stay villainous, and
Fuck the Fantastic Four.
that's